Hey everyone, welcome back to the Alberta Roundup. I'm your host, Rachel Emmanuel. Let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about here today. The Alberta government is looking to reinstate some of its fuel tax. Climate alarmists are slashing tires in Edmonton. A third-party advertiser created to promote Alberta Premier Jason Kenney is now attacking UCP leadership candidate Danielle Smith. A citizens advocacy group is circulating a petition to end Edmonton's potential plastics ban. UCP leadership candidate Todd Loewen says it was abhorrent that police resources were spent wasting energy re-arresting Freedom Convoy organizer Tamara Lich. And the Trudeau Must Go hashtag has been trending on Twitter for days after being started by an Albertan citizen. All that and more happening now on the Alberta Roundup. Alberta's provincial tax holiday at the gas pumps is fading with the summer weather. The provincial government eliminated the provincial 13 cents per litre tax on April 1 after gas prices skyrocketed. Now that those costs have relaxed, the Alberta government will partly reinstate the provincial fuel tax starting on October 1st, Finance Minister Jason Nixon told CBC News this week. For the next 3 months, the provincial government will collect a tax of 4.5 cents per litre on gas and diesel. Nixon said, quote, "It will result in an 8.5 cents being saved on every litre of gas and diesel for Albertans going forward, and will continue to build on the fuel tax program." End quote. Climate alarmists are slashing tires in Edmonton. A vigilante trend of deflating SUV and pickup truck tires in the name of environmental protection appears to have arrived in Edmonton. So if you're parking in the city, you might want to look for some underground parking. One victim found 2 tires on her Honda SUV deflated Sunday, along with a note from the tire extinguishers. Similar flyers have been found on vehicles with slashed tires in Victoria and Kitchener. The note said, quote, "SUVs are unnecessary and pure vanity. We are taking actions into our own hands because our government and politicians will not." Okay then. Okay guys, let's move into the controversy of the week. A third-party advertiser created to promote Alberta Premier Jason Kenney is now attacking UCP leadership candidate Danielle Smith. Some Albertans received a text message last week from a group called Shaping Alberta's Future. The text provided a link to the organization's website, which says it was in fact created to promote both Kenney and the UCP. The text also says Smith is a conservative of convenience and links to an article published on its site questioning Smith's conservative values. The article says a true conservative would oppose tax hikes and support social conservative issues, but Smith's record flips that script. It also says the UCP offers room for discussion, but Smith plays a game of avoidance by declaring herself a libertarian on social issues, the organization alleges. Quote, "For years, Danielle Smith has called herself a conservative and is running on that same platform for UCP leadership. There's a big difference between talking conservative and living it." End quote. In a response, Smith's campaign team told me they're focused on positive messaging ahead of the October 6th leadership announcement. Okay guys, let's take a look at this petition to end the plastics ban that's being discussed in Edmonton. This is what we're watching in the weeks to come. 2 weeks ago, I reported that Edmonton City Council is considering a plastics ban. For those of you who don't remember, the bylaw would specifically ban businesses from offering customers single-use plastic items like shopping bags and phone cups beginning next year. Complaints of non-compliance would result in outreach and education, followed by warnings and enforcement. Now, a citizens advocacy group is fighting back. Common Sense Edmonton has started a petition to stop the potential plastics ban, which it says will hurt consumers while providing no benefit to the environment. Will Vishloff, a spokesperson for the advocacy group Common Sense Edmonton, says the proposal is more virtue signaling price increases from the government, which would hurt regular consumers who are already struggling from tax increases and inflation. Quote, "People understand the need to reduce waste, but they want the choice to do so in the ways that make the most sense. In this case, the replacement products that the government is mandating are probably not any more environmentally friendly while being less practical and effective." If you're interested in taking a look at their arguments and the petition, you can find it on their websites, commonsenseedmonton.com. Okay guys, let's move into our weekly UCP leadership race update. United Conservative Party leadership candidate Todd Loewen says it was abhorrent that police resources were spent re-arresting Tamara Lich. He made those comments at the Western Unity Group debate on Monday evening in Lacombe. I was there. Just Brian, Jean, Loewen, and Leela here were in attendance. For those of you who need a little refresher, Tamara Lich was arrested for the second time in her hometown of Medicine Hat on June 27. The Crown argued that Lich had breached the terms of her bail, which said she could not communicate with other convoy organizers except in the presence of their legal counsel. Lich was then denied bail and was held in jail for nearly 30 days until July 26. But Todd Loewen says Lich was not going anywhere and had not armed anyone. Yet the police wasted resources rearresting her and tracking her down rather than trying to find real criminals. Loewen also said the ongoing cases to prosecute business owners and churches who breached COVID-19 restrictions are a waste of energy, especially considering provincial pandemic restrictions have been largely done away with. There's no need to be victimizing these people who've been through enough, Loewen said. In other Loewen-related news, the candidate says that he's contacted Elections Alberta after robocalls are being sent out on behalf of his campaign. Yet he nor no one else on his campaign approved the messaging. Loewen said he began receiving reports of Albertans receiving the robocalls on Monday. He's now begun the process of trying to determine who's behind them, and he's contacted Elections Alberta for help. Loewen described the calls as putting down Danielle Smith and taking a couple shots at Jason Kenney while having flowery things to say about himself. You can listen to the voice message here.
Todd Loewen. Reach us at 587-318-5235, cbb@outlook.com. After 2 years of betrayal and mistrust, Alberta doesn't need another slick-talking politician. What we do need is a plain-talking, straight shooter who we can trust, and that man is Todd Loewen. Todd is a man of integrity and his word, a man who's doing what he says and says what he'll do. When Danielle Smith crossed the floor to the PCs, Todd Loewen held the line. When Jason Kenney locked down Alberta, Todd Loewen stood his ground. Kenney broke our trust, and so did Danielle. So why should we elect her now when we just got rid of him? In this important leadership race, don't be fooled again. Only Todd Loewen has the integrity to lead Alberta. Vote for Todd as your choice for leader. For more information or to get involved in his campaign, please visit toddloewen.ca. Thank you.
Let's quickly move into endorsements before we end our update for today. United Conservative Party leadership candidate Danielle Smith has received another notable endorsement, this time from Angela Pitt. You guys might remember Angela Pitt was formerly Rajan Sawhney's campaign chair at the beginning of the campaign, but she dropped down at the beginning of August, citing a need to realign with her constituents' values. You can take a listen to the endorsement here.
And so I am so pleased to be here with you and to share my ideas and my values with you at the Danielle Smith event. And it is my great honor to welcome her to the stage, but not only that, to offer my endorsement and my full support to the Danielle Smith Premier.
Okay guys, and finishing off on a lighthearted note, the Trudeau Must Go hashtag, which has been viral on Twitter for days, was started by a regular Albertan man, Marty Belanger, who lives just outside of Calgary. Now, of course, if you're Justin Trudeau's formal principal secretary, Gerald Butts, you think everyone who's participating in this trend is a bot. But Marty is just a super regular guy. Okay guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. If you support our work over at True North, please consider visiting donate.tnc.news so that we can keep continuing to bring you the news. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.